We start off here, and when we do the long division here, we got 3x squared minus, all right, I'm gonna put a 0x in here. It is not necessary, but it can help you get your stuff organized. But this is 6x to the 5th plus 9x to the 4th. Then we got a 0x cubed in here, minus 4x squared, minus 6x, and then I'll just put plus 0 out here to hold that spot. All right, well, just like in the long division, I don't try to do everything into everything. I just take this first term and see how it went into that. So the same strategy here. What am I going to multiply 3x squared by to get 6x to the 5th? What do I multiply x squared by to get x to the 5th? X cubed. Now I'm going to line my x cubes up here. Again, that is not a necessary step either. It's not even the way I was taught to do it, but it helps me keep things organized. So that's the reason I do that. And then now what 3 times what gives me the 6? 2. All right, so just like here, when I got this 2 here, I multiplied by this and put it here. So it's going to be the same step here. 2x cubed times negative 2 is?
Negative 4x to the 3rd.
2x cubed times 0x is 0x to the 4th. And then 2x cubed times this is 6x to the 5th. Now, the big difference in long division with numbers and long division with polynomials is that in long division with numbers, these two values do not have to match up. But when you're doing long division with polynomials, these two terms have to match up exactly. So we're here. Now, what was the next step from here to get to here? Subtract it. Well, that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to subtract this polynomial from this polynomial. Well, if you subtract a polynomial, I'll just go out to the side and do this. I've got 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 minus 2x plus 4. What do I do in subtracting those polynomials? Distribute the negative. Very good. So I'm going to distribute the negative there. Well, I'm going to do the same thing here. And distributing the negative just changes my signs of what I have here. So I'm going to change my signs of everything here. So I've got a minus here. Minus here doesn't really matter with the 0, but, and then this minus here becomes plus. And I personally don't scratch anything out. I just write it up above. That way I can look back, and if I'm double checking my work, if I don't scratch it out, I can see, hey, yeah, I did do my sign changes correctly. So 0x cubed plus 4x cubed is? Wait, 4x cubed? No, that's going to be positive. Remember, this became a plus. You good? Okay. And then 9x to the 4th minus 0x to the 4th is? 9x to the 4th, okay. And then this better be 0. If it's not 0, I did something wrong. So now, next step here, I brought down my 3. Next step here, I'm going to bring down my negative 4x squared. Are we still fine here? Okay. X squared times what gives me x to the 4th? X squared. And then the 3 times what gives me the 9? You said it earlier. 3. All right. So 3x squared times negative 2? Negative 6x squared. 0. And then 9x to the 4th, right? Okay, again, I'm to the step where I'm subtracting. But again, subtracting polynomials, I'm just going to change the sign here. So minus, and again with the 0 it doesn't really matter. And this is plus. All right, so negative 4x squared plus 6x squared is 2x squared. 4x cubed plus minus 0x cubed is
4x cubed.
Wait,
what's your question?
why are you switching the signs?
Because I'm subtracting. And if I subtract a polynomial from another polynomial, like this one right here, I would have 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. And subtracting this polynomial becomes minus 2x and minus 4. So I changed all the signs of the polynomial I'm subtracting from. So likewise here, this is the polynomial I'm subtracting from it, so I have to change every sign in there. Great question. Any other questions here? Bring down the negative 6x. All right, now in this case, the arithmetic gets a little bit more difficult because 3 went into 6 2 times, 3 went into 9 3 times, but 3 into 4 is what?
1
1
1/3.
1/3, or
4/3.
we'll call it 4/3. So I'm going to put plus 4/3 x. All right, so 4/3 times negative 2 is negative 8/3. This is the tough one. 4/3 times 0. I was just joking, it's not tough. What is it? 0, okay. And then 4/3, okay, you have the 4/3 times the 3, so the 3's cancel out and you get 4x cubed. And again, if that's not 4x cubed, then we've done something wrong. So once again, what's the next step here?
Flip the sign.
Yeah, change all the signs. So minus, minus, and plus. All right, so we have negative 6 plus 8/3. All right, so negative 6 is the same thing as negative 18/3. Right? Okay. Yeah. What is negative 18/3 the same thing as? Negative 6, yeah. So it's just me working backwards with it. And then it's plus 8/3. And that would give me negative 10/3, right? Okay. So I've got a negative 10/3 here. And then 2x squared minus 0x squared is
2x squared.
2x squared. And then plus 0. Are we still good? All right, so 3 times what gives me 2?
2/3.
2/3. And if you have a problem with that, think about it like this. You're saying 3 times what number? Now I'm not going to put an x there because everything else is x. So I'll just say 3 times what gives me 2? Well, that what would be 2/3. So if you have a hard time seeing that without writing it out, then that could be something that helps. All right, so I have 2/3 times negative 2, which is
2/3 times what?
negative 2. Remember,
Negative 4/3.
negative 4/3. All right, 2/3 times 0, 0. And that would be 2x squared. Okay, change your signs again. Now I've got a different color marker that I'm changing signs with, but if you just wrote above it and put it in parentheses, that would be fine. 0 plus 4/3 is 4/3. Then this is negative 10/3 x. So that is my remainder. So I write that as plus 10 thirds x plus 4 thirds over 3x squared minus 2. And if I want to get really fancy with it, that becomes plus 10x plus 4 over 3 times 3x squared minus 2. In other words, you're pulling this 3 down to here. And you can do that with a common denominator. So this would be the quotient and this would be the remainder. All right, I'm gonna give y'all one to try on your own. It's not gonna be as hard as this one. Got x to the 5th minus x to the 4th plus x cubed minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 6 all over x plus 1. All right, y'all go ahead and start that on your own.